Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I'm your cruise director on the Magical Mystery Tour. Today we are going to give makeup products that I don't particularly like. Some I in fact hate and think were very, very overrated. A second chance. Before we get to that though, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell to be alerted to any new uploads, and if you like this video at the end, please give it a big thumbs up. Let's go see who has not quite made it to the bin yet, because I'm so tempted, but let's try. A couple of things to note today. I don't know if you can tell just by looking at me, it's quite a warm day down here in Tasmania. We've had a weather warning go out because of it being hot for multiple days, and we don't normally have that. And I'm also filming under lights in a room with the window closed, the door shut, because there's household noises out there. The husband and the stepson are playing Call of Duty, washing machines going, day-to-day traffic, windows shut because the neighbour is doing his driveway. So let's see how we go, but I think I look like I'm probably a bit warm. Now, I have not long cleaned out most of my products, so some of these did manage to survive for the simple fact that I wanted to try a couple. I don't have something for every category, but I have done my best. I've gone to products that I'm not 100% sold on. And the eyeshadow palette is one, in fact, that I returned once and bought it back when it went on a heavy sale to complete a collection and to see if it was just a bad batch that I got. But first up, we only did this recently and I'm going to mix these two together, and that is the E.L.F. Bronzing and Hydration drops. I am going to go in with more of the hydrating product and just a little bit of the bronze when I pick it up. So you can see I've only used a little bit of this product. And even then, now it's still gone super bronzy. And I used like one drop. What is it about this? It's definitely better with not as much though, straight away. And my skin is going to soak up this hydration. I've been a bit sweaty this morning. I've been out hanging, washing on the line in the sun. And let me just move that mirror. That's better than last time. Last time I think I went sort of 50-50, and I was just too bronze. But again, I don't know if these are individual so that you can just buy bronzing drops if you can just want to use hydration or mix the depth that you want. I just don't understand these ones. I am feeling, that being said, super hydrated this time. And maybe for me, I've got plenty of bronzing. I might look at, because I do want to buy a few of the hydrating products from them. In any case, I've had them before, want to buy them again. And I might look at picking up the larger size of that, but definitely not the bronzing for me. Now for my brows, I'm going to let that soak in, so I might start on my brows, which still need to be tinted but were trimmed down yesterday. This is a Revolution eyebrow pencil in brown. I don't know if this is still available. Actually, I'm not using that. I'm going to use the Revlon Colorstay Brow Fibre Builder. This one I wasn't 100% sold on, so let's use that. It is a little spoolie that should build up my brows. I'm just trying to work out, that's right, it's got the longer on that side. It's just a weird, just give me a teeny tiny little spoolie and not this extra bit that I've got to worry about. Still, this just feels awkward. And again, so when I've got an eyebrow trimmer, my eyebrow hairs grow like an elderly person's. They grow very, very long. And I have to trim them so they don't curl up over my forehead. If you can hear, I'm sorry if you can hear my husband and son talking. They're in different rooms. My husband's in the lounge room, my son's in his bedroom. But hopefully I've been able to pull out the background noise on this. See, look, this is not building them up a huge amount. And I think essentially you really need to have pretty good eyebrows in the first place, because while it's a fibre builder, it's only going to thicken what you've got and not fill in any gaps, because I've got a few little gaps. I don't know if you can see them. So I am going to go in with this pencil and just fill that out. So that Revlon Fibre Builder is still a no from me. Next up is a product that a lot of people love, and let me tell you, I hate it. I hate it. I've used it multiple times. I don't see it going to change, but I'm going to use it now. I don't see it changing, and that is, what is it called? I'll get the name right. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Balm. This product, it just sits on top of my skin. It doesn't go into my skin. I feel like I don't think it does much. It doesn't give any real coverage. It doesn't so much as really even out my skin tone. It's just an all-round yuck product. Now, if you like this, do you have, like, my skin's pretty normal. I don't think anyone with oily skin would like this, because I imagine it would slide right off their face. But if you like this, what sort of skin have you got? Because I do think this is only for people with dry skin. But, like, I get it, it's a balm. It's meant to feel like a balm. But I've got other balm products. Can I tell you the She Glam Balm Foundation that's in a flat tub, I think is 10 times better than this. Now you can see I've had to put a bit on, and like, I'm not going to put any more on. I'm trying to get that to go into my skin, and I'm about to do something and I'll have to go over and cover it in a second. It's just messy. So I've been stamping that in, right? Now let me show you something. As soon as I wipe my finger, that's taken all the product off that area there. I'm going to cover that again with what's left on my brush. This does not dry down. I feel like a bit of a slick with it on. Going in now with the, I don't hate this product, but it's not my favourite. And that is the NYX Bear With Me concealer. Now, it works with the concealer that goes with this. I think the issue that I have with this is probably it's a bit too silicone-y for me. So it might work with this Balm. It's very slippy, which means I tend to find that it creases a bit. So, tapping that there. I'm going to give that a minute to dry down a bit because my whole face is so slippy. I'm just going to get the fan onto it and try and get this to do something. Now, I think that's as best as it is going to get. I haven't set it with powder. I'm about to use a heap of liquid products, so I'm just trying to give it its best option here. First up, I am going in with the E.L.F Halo Glow contour. Now, the biggest issue with this is, and it's going to be an issue that comes up with another of their products, this is too small. Like, it's just too small. This feels quite watery. The shade is fine. So let's see how it blends. Okay, and on here. Tucking in just under my cheek. Actually, right. Maybe I just had a bad day with it when I used it before. I'm not mad at this. Okay, I'm about to get a heap of noise happening. Stepson's up on a feeding mission and I would say microwaving last night's leftover burritos. So, we'll see how we go. But I might end up stopping for a minute. I still wish this was, I'm actually really liking the shade of it. This is not closing down. I'm just not a fan of this particular delivery system in any brand that does them. But that's actually blended really nice. And I'm not mad at the shade. So that is one that I can say I am going to change my mind on and keep around because I'm really liking that contour shade. Now, if this changes my mind, I am going to be absolutely gobsmacked, and that is the Pixi On The Glow Bronze Balm. See this sunscreen deodorant delivery stick system, because I think it could be because of the texture it has to be in here is what I don't like. Now, I'm going to push this up here and you can barely see the product. Could be that it's too light, but it also could be the fact, let me just clean off this that I use for the contour. It also could be that it's a sticky balm that doesn't do much. Again, I'm not particularly a fan. If I put it on this brush instead of wiping on my face. And see how we go. I'd like to be able to give you a full day wear of this, but I probably won't, because chances are that I'm going to film something else a bit later in the day, but I will have it on for a couple of hours at least. It's looking okay at the moment. It all feels lightweight, but I just feel like it's going to transfer absolutely everywhere. Now next up, because of the delivery system as well, is the E.L.F Halo Glow Blush Wand. I think I will do Rose You Slay. And again, this is because these are tiny. Make them bigger. Let's see how we go. Getting a brush to stamp it. And it's just too glowy. Like, this is meant to be a blush. It's a blush lighter. A bit less on this side. But I also feel like that all of this is moving my products underneath. Let me just try and close that. And I can't tell if this is closed either. It's just a mess. But look at that. Like, I am blushed beyond. It's too much. So just stamping over that to try and take some of the intensity away just around the edge, because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Now I am going to prep my eyes and I'll be right back. Gosh, I look like I've got a flush. I have prepped my eyes, but before we get to that, I am going to use a highlighter, if I can find a brush. I've just reorganised all my brushes. I'm going in with the MCoBeauty Silky Smooth Highlighter. I don't even know why I've kept this, because I don't particularly like it. I just think it's a bit of a meh product. It's too gold. It's clearly designed for lighter skin, but it's the wrong type of gold. You see what I mean? I've just found out it's going to be fun. I'm going out for lunch, so this is going to last a little while. And I'm going out looking like this. Hey. I am going to use a finishing powder now, and that is the, I have to read the name of it. It's a Nude by Nature Mineral Finishing Veil Translucent Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Natural. I don't know why I didn't like this. I just remember that I didn't. So let's see. It's got a mesh cover. This goes in to fill it so it doesn't go everywhere. Let's see how it looks. Have I changed my mind on this? It's, I don't know why I didn't like this. I just remember that I didn't particularly like it. So it is blurring. I can see that straight away. It's definitely blurring. Could this be one I'm changing my mind on? When you tap it, it kicks up, which is fine. That being said, I have never been a lover of mineral products. However, the last year I have really started liking them, so it could be one that I've changed my mind on. I actually like that at the moment. interesting. Going down now with the eyeshadow palette that performed so badly, I actually returned it, and I never do that. And it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Fall Romance. This was super dry and crumbly and a lot of kick up, and every look I created was muddy and I didn't like it. This was on sale in Sephora for over 50% off, I think. It was 50% and then there was an extra 10% that you could get with a code. So I thought I'd risk it. One, to add back into my collection, but two, to see if I just got a dodgy batch. And these were the two that I really remember being super dry and cakey, and they don't feel it. So I'm thinking I might have had, I got this right on release, so I'm thinking that maybe there was an issue with the formula. Maybe they've fixed it. I don't know. So let's go in. The issue, another issue that I have with this is there's not a super light transition shade. This is about the lightest you're going to get. So let's see how we go. Cleaning off that brush because I've pulled up too much. And same on this side. What's that shade? Is it Leather? Can I read that? So just working that through. You can see it's become a lot more pigmented on this side than this. So I need to add more here. This buffed right out really easy on this side. Cleaning off my brush and just working that. So again, it's not ideal. It's not the shade that I would have liked to have picked, certainly. I just wish they had a lighter. Now I'm going to use, I want to use this green because this was the shade that I had a lot of problem with. So if this goes patchy and super muddy, but it doesn't feel dry. I remember how dry it felt. Okay, noise that you're hearing. Stepson's getting picked up by the girlfriend's family for a day at the beach. He had his feed and off he goes. Okay, see, that's still not looking the best though, is it? Like, it looks a bit patchy. It looks inconsistent in how it's laying down. Let's see what we can do here. This shade does feel quite dry. Going back in with this brush that I used for that first shade just to try and buff this out a bit. Because whilst this is green, it's coming off as a deep, deep grey, almost black, which is certainly not the colour that it looks like in there. Going into this really dry burgundy now. At least that shade's coming off correct. I'm going over this green to try and make it look a bit better than what it did. Because it's not green, it's grey. And we know how I feel about my greens. I want my greens to be green. I've cleaned this brush right off now. And using that to blend. Definitely makes it look better. Still not great. It is looking a little patchy down here. and here. So, I don't think there's much more I can do for this. Bring that up, bring this burgundy-ish out a bit, and try and make it at least a diffuse, because quite frankly I think it looks like I've been punched in the eyes. And hoping that these shimmers do something for it. So let's, oh, I quite like that shade. Given what I'm wearing, I think I'm going to go in with that. Let's see how we go. I mean, that is a nice shade, isn't it? So the shimmers are nice. I think I still feel the same way. The shimmers are nice. The mattes are not great. So I think I would use these shimmers with a different palette. I'm not even inclined to try the other mattes because of how these are performing. But we know how I feel about a shim, 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 shim. And I'm just going into this a little bit on the inner corner just to give it a little bit of a different colour. I like the shimmer. Right. Maybe I will give it one. Yeah, these mattes. I don't think these will save it. Like, that's so dark. This is interesting in that it's got a bit of sparkle in it, but it doesn't. Sorry, I don't know if you saw that. It's got a bit of sparkle in it, this shade, but it doesn't translate onto my finger at all. And when I wipe it on my hand, oh yeah, it does. It sparkles a little bit. So, let's see. I'm going into that because it's got that little bit of a brown. It's got like a burgundy red sparkle in that brown. But once we work that out, is that going to mess it up? Cleaning off this brush that I used before. And seeing what happens. Pulling that across that shimmer. There is no shimmer that shows up in that brown, so that's a waste of time. For sure. Underneath the eye. I'm just going to use this brown. I don't have an eyeliner for my waterline that I don't like today at all. So we're going to skip that, quite frankly. And I'm just going to buff out under the eye. Haven't put anything, oh, my stomach is gurgling. It is lunchtime, I think. Just using this to buff. And it's, look, this is blending, this brown. That's a bit of a, just a brown. with a slight red undertone to it. This is buffing out quite easily without any real effort. So there's that. Just going into that bronzy shimmer and just bringing that under the eye there that we used in the inner corner. But I'm going to do an ABH ranking coming up in a few months' time. We'll do a palette lucky dip with what I've got. So we'll get to see this played with again to see if I can do any better with it. I'm not holding much hope, and quite frankly, do not believe that this will be higher than probably the bottom or second bottom place. We'll see if it can redeem itself. Let me just set down my face now and I'll be right back. So what I used to set down my face, and you can see I'm 3/4 of the way through it, is the Rimmel Multitasker Prime Set and Finishing Spray. I think that's what it's called. This I'm using to use. I don't like the perfume. I don't like how perfumed it is. I don't like how it mists. I don't like how it sits on my face. I'm not a fan. If you're at Priceline, get yourself Revolution. If you are at Chemist Warehouse, get yourself the Maybelline in the pink can. Or get the NYX. That's one of my least favourite pharmacy sprays, quite frankly. Now for my lips, I don't have a lip liner that I don't like, because I just don't keep them. And I think lip liners are something that you can be pretty comfortable with. But I do have a lip product I don't like. Problem is, it's completely the wrong shade. But I know they're going to look pretty when we go out. This is the Nude Dear Darling Tint. It looks like a little mini ice cream. What don't I like about this? It smells like grape bubblegum. It does not taste like that, and you do get the taste of it. It's disgusting. I get that. Oh, and see, straight away, I can taste that in my mouth without having even touched it. Like it's just somehow moves about in your lips. It's not particularly tinted. It feels yuck on my lips. Yeah, I can taste it. There are, I would rather a lip blur, a pudding pot. This is not it. So it's a tint, we leave it on for a minute and then we can wipe it off and put some gloss over it. The sooner I get this taste off my lips, the better. Now I have just tinted, I've just blotted that off because it's a tint, it's meant to stay tinted. Problem is, I'm just left with lips the exact same shade as my own lips. I don't even know if it's tinted, can't tell. What I can tell is that I'm tasting something that is super, super chemically and is revolting. So, let me just put some gloss on. So I can get rid of that taste. This is where we are at. We'll see how I look. I may insert a video here of how I am after lunch because I'm going out for a little while now. I don't want to go out in public looking like this. I don't like it. I just... oh, I haven't put mascara on. That's that's what's not looking quite right. And I do have one I don't like, and I want to love it because I love how it goes on initially. I love the volume, like the thickness, the volume, the length. I love everything about it. But what I don't like is that I end up with spider eyes. So let's hope I am home before spider eyes go everywhere. And that is the NARS Climax and Climax Extreme Mascara. I have kept this because I knew I wanted to do this at some stage. I have had the full size. And every time, have I had the Extreme? I think I've only had the Climax. So this is the Extreme. Let's see if this performs the same, because it just goes everywhere. I end up with dots all over my face. It just transfers, my loves. This might make my eyeshadow look better though, and make me feel a bit better about myself before we go out. Unless it melts off my face and I look like shit pretty darn quick. I was about to say pretty quick, but we know we can get into trouble. I've just tapped that on there, having used most of that on my upper lashes, so I'm really asking for trouble here, but we should be able to put it on our lower lashes. My top lashes should be the only issue, given that my hoods sit on my lashes. And that makes my eyes look better, but my face does not feel the best. I'm just tapping with that brush again around here where I'm already feeling sticky. And I will put on, before I go out, a different lip colour. I do think even here looks super shiny. I just look, I don't look the best. So again, let's see how I feel in a couple of hours. I will come back and film my thoughts after I've been out for a little while. So what is the time now? Look, it may only be an hour or two. I'm not holding out much promise. It is 1:15 right now. So wish me luck going out in public in products I hate. Okay, so it is now 4:45. So we've had 3.5 hours. Look at this. I mean, can we? So a couple of things. My face looks a little bit ruddy and patchy. I mean, this is just a mess. So the mascara is not a winner. This, I'm just not a fan of any. Well, actually, I did like the contour. I changed my mind on that, and I may have changed my mind on the powder, possibly. The shimmer still looks nice, but the rest of it, I hate the mattes in that palette still. This Balm, let's have a look at this, okay? It is just wiping straight off. It did that the first time. My other products don't do this. So I can't get over how bad this mascara looks as well. Contour is the only 100% thing that I like in that. Everything else, I mean, I look a hot mess. I'm going to go and wash my face now. So until next time, my friends, don't forget to tell your mum, tell your sister, tell your friends. Come along, subscribe, hang out. What is a hyped up product that everyone told you was good and you hated? this ABH is just one of the things that I cannot stand. There are a few other foundations that everyone seems to love that I am not a fan of as well. But until next time, my loves, take care. Bye.